I think when you're constantly associating yourself with people who are so successful, mentors like you, I think it changes the way you think constantly. Then it's not कि मैं जब presentation कर रही हूँ तब मैं कैसे. It's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. So if I'm constantly looking at you, then I'm copying you and your successful patterns and behaviors and the way you teaching, mentoring, doing every single thing. Then you also become like that. It's like mirroring, you know.
Right.
So I think that works really well.
Hi guys, welcome to yet another case study, and in this we have Bhavana and Poonam with us, a super special case study because two ladies were able to crack a business of 15 lakh rupees in just 15 weekends and were able to do that using the parent coaching model that they've created. We'll deep dive into how they were able to do it, reveal the secrets that you want to know, and everything around the whole case study. So I welcome Poonam and Bhavana, you both. How is it going? What is your business about? And tell us about yourself to the audience.
Thank you so much, Himanshu. Thanks for the warm welcome. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Poonam Kage. I'm a psychologist and I'm a parent coach. And that's Bhavna Kanu, also my elder sister and the founder of this company. And we together are basically helping parents raise emotionally strong and socially confident children. So we really focus on the social emotional learning skills, a skill which is basically missing right now in many parenting, I would say, process, journey, systems, even in the education system right now. I don't see it happening as much consistently as it should. So that's really the focus, and that's what we teach parents.
Awesome. Bhavna, a little bit about you. What do you do? How are you working in the company? And what's your role?
So for me, this journey began as a chance really. My sister, literally, I can say, bullied me into this. She was already a successful psychologist. She was coaching and she was enjoying the entire, counseling and training and all of that. And I was into corporate communications. I was a completely corp-com person into a corporate career for good 14, 15 years. And there was always this one thing that we wanted to do something of our own. वो एक कहीं ना कहीं एक था. And then she said, this is the moment. अगर करना है तो अभी करना है, otherwise it will never happen. And this we're talking about like good 7, 8 years ago, and so we took I literally took that big leap of keeping her in focus. She was really my faith and big support. She's always been all my life. So I took that plunge and it worked out really well because in that sense, our, what do we say, our strengths sort of complement each other. Simply because she is somebody who is an expert in psychology, in coaching, in training. And I come from the PR and corporate communications background. So events came naturally to me, back in handling came naturally to me, putting out ads and scripting came naturally to me. So, we sort of complement each other, and that's how we have been working together. And it's been blissful, I would say. A lot of people actually envy us because, to be able to work, as sisters, and have that kind of fine, we're constantly treading that fine line that divides personal and professional, because whatever said and done, she's my baby sister. And that, I have to keep that in mind and still not let it overpower the business deliverables that we have to constantly commit to. So it's been great.
बड़ी दीदी का डंडा संभालना पड़ेगा. So awesome. So you are into parent coaching and you are helping kids with social and emotional learning, right? Why this business and why not anything else in the world? You have been a psychologist. You can, have your clients who pay you like per month something written amount, and you do all of that. Why this thing? And like, what motivates you now after reaching this point?
Okay, so I believe, as I said, that I was always a psychologist and I was already into training. So my career counseling कर रही थी, मैं life training कर रही थी. I was training teachers on how to teach. And I was also doing parenting workshops even when I was not even married. So now I find that like quite a joke. But I knew the principles and the foundational skills that are required in parenting because I understood child development, behavior, brain development. So I knew that I was on the right track. Having said that, when I entered and I got married and I was a parent then, that's when I truly understood the gap between the theory that I'm learning. So what I learned for 10 years of psychology was more of theory. So yes, of course, we worked as an intern and stuff like that, and that happened. But when you are in the parenting journey, when you are sitting up late night at 3 a.m. handling a child who is crying, a colicky baby, there's no one to support, you don't know, understand what's happening with the child, that's when it really occurs to you ki, oh my God, parenting skills kitne important hai, kitni zaruri hai. And I also believe that we have always copied, in our culture, in our tradition, we always copy what our parents have done. And a few things with maturity, probably there's a combination of things that we loved about our parents and we start doing. A few things we believe that went in the wrong direction, shouldn't happen. And so we, course correct that. Having said that, there is also a huge gap in terms of what idealistically kya hona chahiye. So when I started parenting, and because I come from a nuclear setup where it was just me and my daughter, my husband's in the merchant navy, so he's a master mariner, and he would be sailing for a couple of months. At times it was like 6, 8, and 9 months. So I was left all by myself trying to guess. So yes, I was already an expert, the theory expert, psychologist, but practical application में बहुत दिक्कत आ रही थी. And that's when I truly started understanding what needs to be done. Okay, and what are the challenges, what are the feelings, what are the experiences, what you really want for your kids, and where you feel as a parent. Because ye theory, gyan, motivation, inspiration, what you should be intentionally doing is something which comes really easily when you're giving a lecture. But when you haven't eaten well, when you haven't slept well, when you're not taking care of yourself and you're putting a child's or soul's need in front of you and prioritizing everyone else other than yourself, it's very difficult to manage. And that's the phase when parents need a lot of handhold and support. And I think in our Indian structure system, of course, things are changing now. However, the parenting journey is mostly only the mother in the parenting journey. I believe it has to be a team effort. So mentally, the spouse needs to be there, the husband needs to be there, and physically also he needs to be there in and around, in the physical environment to sort of support and guide whenever it's required. So
Same
I
as
think
reading a book of selling and doing actually selling. Same.
absolutely, absolutely. So there was a huge gap there. And today I see that a lot of fathers are already motivated and inspired. It's just that they haven't been trained to be a father. So because our culture is ki ye maa ka kaam hai. So men have not really taken interest, but now things are changing and they're open to learning. And then we are there around to sort of share and guide them. So I think that works really well. And when I could do a lot of things and get solutions when I tried and experimented, and I think the one thing that I really love about myself and I respect for doing that is that in spite of the challenges that I went through in my parenting journey, I did not forget to mention, experiment, explore, journal, because that's when I realized after a few months and weeks and years later, ki, acha, this is what really changed. So I was doing a lot of things, but when I started reflecting, it made me realize that this was the solution. This is the step by step. And then a lot of parents, also started asking questions like, how are you doing this? How are you managing it all by yourself? आपके बच्चे की vocabulary इतनी awesome कैसी है? If you are an introvert, how is your child an extrovert? And then it was like, oh my God, yeah. So, a few things I was not even aware about myself, in spite of being a person who is constantly reflecting and evolving. A few things were like, like a shock or a surprise for me even. So I realized, oh my God, this is so important that I share this knowledge and information. So it started out not like a business. It's just about, sharing, getting together, telling parents, sharing my notes and stuff and flashcards, and every single activity that I designed for Tisha, for my daughter, I started sharing it with others. And that's how it really started in my neighborhood. And that's when it really began. The parenting journey and the parent coaching journey for me began at that point in time.
Got it. So going through the experiences yourself, then seeing कि book का knowledge and real knowledge is like completely different. दोनों gather करके you made your own systems and things and whatever works, blueprints, and then you shared with a lot of people. Community started building. You found this useful, started selling it. Now it's a parent coaching journey. Wonderful, awesome. What was your first impression of internet coaching empire? Like, how did you guys find me? Where did you find me? And what was the first impression? Like the ad impression or the workshop impression? What was that?
Right. I was actually scrolling through Instagram, and as content creators and as teachers, we're constantly looking at what's new, what is the trend, and you're looking at what are the different new ways of selling better, being more effective as a creator. And that's when I happened to look at your ad. And there was this really young boy, I would say, a man who was really fast in his script. And therefore I was like, okay, somebody who's so crisp and who's fast, really knows what he's thinking and doing, and therefore he's been able to deliver in the shortest period of time, and he looks extremely promising. And so I think I must go ahead and see what he has more to offer. And in fact, this was also everything that we have done with you, and after joining the course has been so fast, because this is one thing that we always do as partners and also sisters, is that whenever I'm about to do something, I will quickly make a call to her and I'll say, Poonam, I'm doing this, should I go ahead? Karu ki nahi karu? Kya kare? Abhi karna hai, kal karna hai, all of that. And then, this was this one course that I signed up for without asking her. So like it just hit me and I was like, nahi, bas karna hai. So I signed up and I told Poonam after I signed up ki, I have signed up for Himanshu's workshop and we must attend it. And we attended it, and then rest is history, because we just kept walking along with you after that.
Got it. So being that fast and prompt thing made you feel like this person knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely. And I think Poonam also, had
Yeah.
something to add to what I had to say is that.
Yeah. So I think at the first call that we were together with you and you were trying
Yes.
to understand.
So
and
I think you did not attend the workshop, only Bhavana did, if I'm not
Right.
wrong. Yes.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Yeah.
And then there was a one-on-one jahan pe
Yes.
we were trying to understand our journey,
Yes.
understand the pros and cons and all of that. In that process, in that journey, I figured that you're extremely smart, intelligent, and confident, and you were extremely clear about our journey. So, you having clarity about your own business goals is something which is obviously it's very natural and obvious, but you had the clarity of what is missing. You could see the gap. So if someone can do that, then it won't take much long for you to coach me, mentor me, guide me, tell me.
Yeah.
So I could already see that it's the way you communicate, the clarity, the confidence. So I think, yeah, that's when I decided that you're the one.
Makes sense. And you said like the rest is history. So you started to have some changes in yourself, right? Maybe changes in your systems, changes in yourself as a person, mindset, everything, right?
Everything.
What were those changes, like top 3 of yours? And how were you feeling when you were going through those changes? Like, were you nervous, excited? Are you like, "Mereko nahi karna"? Like, what was happening at that time?
Dee, would you like to start with that?
Yeah, I think for the first time, when you are 40 plus, which we are, there's a lot of inertia. बहुत सारी चीजों में एक थोड़ी सी एक दिक्कत होती है to get started, to be at the speed that you want us to be. So we have been slow learners.
I think not really inertia. I think it's more anxiety.
Yeah.
Because you've done so many things. In your mind, you know that
सबके
technically.
कोर्स ले लिए मैंने पूरा रेजिस्टेंस से
Yeah,
सारा
yeah,
नॉलेज है मेरे पास तो
And
फिर नया
also
क्या है
we're good. Like, we know we are good in the way we do things. When it comes to my niche and psychology, I understood my knowledge and have the information. Then it's like, where are we stuck? So that little fear and anxiety was there at the start. But also there was a lot of excitement inside that, oh my God, this is a new thing. And I think that's one thing about us, that whenever we approach something new, we go with an open mind. Ki theek hai, paas mein nahi hua, jo hua, wo hua. This is a fresh start. So we're going to look at it like that. And it's like a new beginning for us. So we're going to focus and do every single thing that you say. So I think that was the initial period that we decided that we're going to have a growth mindset. We are going to be open to learning, and we are going to actually follow every single step that you say, even if we are not going to use our gray cells and think ye karega, nahi karega. Whatever you say, we will make a note of it. We will copy, we will do it. We'll report to you. You will evaluate us and tell us what needs to be done next. So this is what we had decided. This was our game plan, really.
Yeah.
Right. So the first change was having that growth mindset and having that open-mindedness towards something new, right? What was the second change you had?
I'm sure she will have her take on it also. I could constantly see Poonam changing from her confidence level to, because what was happening is that you were literally watching every single webinar of ours. You were making changes on the presentation that we had shipped out to you. After which you had sent across your entire webinar template to us and saying ki ye copy kar lena, ye missing hai, ye missing hai, ye missing hai. And we're like, oh yeah, like how did we not even see it? And it was a very, very simple minor tweak, but that minor tweak made like a huge impact in the way we sold our program at the end of the presentation. You know, so the bolta hai na ki, the only the expert will know which screw to tighten really, which nut to really. So that's really what was happening. And I knew that Poonam was going through change week after week after week, even from the presentation perspective, because you would see something and you say, "Acha, abhi is hafte na ye change kar lena." So nothing was common from last weekend. Every weekend. So there was this whole thing like, what? Again, it's a new presentation. I don't know how I'm going to deliver this. Then next weekend, again, it's a new presentation. I don't know how I'm going to. So there was so much of change, but it was at the end of that presentation when we had an influx of new students week on week, we knew that every single change mattered and was giving us the results that we desired. So that was a huge, difference in the way we delivered. Plus, also, every time you see more and more people getting, sort of resonating with our journey, with our cause, and people,
Benefiting out of it.
yeah, people coming into our community every now and then, and parents are being excited and happy about it. You also get, a boost there. There's confidence, your self-esteem is getting boosted. You get valued for the content that you have created over years,
Right.
so that kind of got acknowledged over a period of time.
Got it. So having a webinar where people are not buying and people are hating you, to having a webinar where now people are loving you in the webinar as well, plus buying your products and resonating with your ads and messages, and now you have a community in which people respect you and won't have to have your knowledge.
Yeah, I feel that ऐसे नहीं था कि students पहले नहीं थे, पर वो sporadic थे, and that is a bummer as far as a business is concerned.
Right.
You need to be able to predict. जैसे मैंने पहले कहा कि you should be able to predict जो आपके साथ हम कर पाए. Week on week, we were constantly tracking numbers. We knew what we were gunning for. We knew how many people we have to get through our ads, and then nurture them through a week long, and then at the end of it, deliver and get that kind of percentage. And it's a very, very step by step, program which just delivers everything the way you want it to.
Yeah, I think I also became far more adaptable and flexible. Because when you say something, then I have to do it. And because I had made a promise to myself and to Dee ki nahi, ye to karna hai, and it's on me now. So, there's also a lot of responsibility on me to deliver that. So I decided that no, I'm going to go out of my comfort zone. So I think one thing that any person, when wants to become successful, whether it's in a parenting journey or in business or wherever in life, you have to keep changing and adapting. And that is not something which comes easily or naturally to human beings by nature. And therefore, it was very tough for me as well. But I was glad I went ahead and I did that. So it made me very, very uncomfortable every single time. But I think at the end of the day, now today, when I do a masterclass with some changes, I'm still okay. I'm confident. I know I can go and deliver because I know at the end of the day, what I need to really do is add value. So if I'm clear about that, even if I make minor tweaks or in the messaging or the way, that doesn't change anything. The purpose, the intention, the value building remains the same. So I became settled with that whole process, and that's a big one for me.
Yeah.
So thanks to you
Yeah.
for that.
I agree with that, because they used to, she's very methodical. She is very thorough. And therefore, to be thorough, she takes time to go through every single thing. And therefore, at times, when I'm looking at the, I'm like, hurry up, like, why are we taking so much time? And she's like, no, when I do it, I want to do it well. And I want to be sure of what I'm sending out as a message, because it ultimately impacts parents and their children. So I don't want to send out a wrong message. I don't want to share something that doesn't work really in the real world.
I don't want to make false promises.
Yeah.
I want to give it as it is, because as a personality, I'm extremely genuine and authentic. And sometimes it goes against me because, I truthfully tell what I really feel. But I feel this is me. मुझे झूठ नहीं बोलना है. मुझे कुछ झूठ promises नहीं करने हैं webinars में. And I want to say that, yes, you have to go all out when it comes to parenting. Actually, anything in life, when you want long-term results, you have to put in, 200%. 10% डाल के आपको 100% नहीं मिलने वाला है, and that's not the way it should be done. So for me, that was a difficult one. Also, when I was studying psychology, our professors, teachers, it's like a constant grilling in message ki you are in charge of someone's energy, someone's emotion. Parenting is one space like that. So be very, very careful with your words, with your sentences, with your energy. And when you're doing a coaching, the kind of words you use, the language, everything is very important. So, I'm a little stringent about all of those things when I put across messages.
And I can see that, because In the first few webinars, what I've seen Poonam was that parent coach wala, having that image and then playing the game, which is not authentic to the person. That's why he's not feeling connected. Now it has more become like, मैं Poonam bhai, मैं ऐसी सिखाती हूँ. I think you would be able to relate to this. And then you move forward. It's a true intention which people can feel out, right? And same is with me. Like if I do my webinars, you have attended those webinars. I'm like very straightforward. ये है भाई करना है करो नहीं करना आगे बढ़ो, right? Like that. So that creates a sense of emotion which makes people go actually get the results, right? What were your favorite tools and templates from ICE? Like top 3 tools or top 3 templates that you were like fan of?
Some of the worksheets were brilliant. The question, we did the message hypothesis. Then we also did the market research, which you made us do. That was very, very different. हमने कभी नहीं करा था. And therefore that opened up so many things. And उसकी वजह से what happened was that we saw so many people deliver, their offer. And then we said, oh, we are bloody good, And so you could map it. Pehle, it was all khayali pulao. We didn't know what we were doing. We don't know what our offer was, how much more we were delivering over the others and stuff like that. So that gave us like a huge confidence. Then also, I think we did our entire presentation multiple times.
The webinar template, yes.
Webinar template. So that, and you very generously shared the entire presentation. I mean, who does that?
No one does
today,
that.
Nobody does it. Nobody. And I'm telling you, because we've done like a couple of...
So I cannot guess.
Yeah. So therefore, you've been very, very upfront about ki ye fix karna hai. So this is the template. Go forward with it. And in the templates also, they are just not blank templates, but they are with examples. So we know we can draw an inspiration from there. We know, oh, this is the thought process that we need to go through to be able to fill this out. So that helped. So that's been really good. And I think more than just templates, Poonam and I will agree on this one thing, that our conversation, the coaching, the Sunday calls, I mean, they are priceless. They are just like, gems every single weekend. Just, yesterday's conversation. I obviously we haven't reached a stage where we need to have a valuation of a company, but to be able to so simply evaluate.
Just have a total segment and understand kitna value hamara market mein hai.
So therefore, these kind of things open up, and therefore, what you can look forward to in the future. That's really
also helpful. I think when you're constantly associating yourself with people who are so successful, mentors like you, I think it changes the way you think constantly. Then it's not कि मैं जब presentation कर रही हूँ तब मैं कैसे. It's a way of life. It's a lifestyle. So if I'm constantly looking at you, then I'm copying you and your successful patterns and behaviors and the way you teaching, mentoring, doing every single thing, then you also become like that. It's like mirroring, Right. So I think that works really well.
I still remember that in Mumbai Megamind, because when Bhavana came over there, 1500-2000 ad spent per day ka, Himanshu, should I start the ads or not? I'm like, just hold it, start ads. Nothing would happen, right? And today we are sitting over here. So it's the environmental exposure. You see like Himanshu spending like lakh rupees a day and not having any worries about it. Why can't I spend 5,000, right? And that just gives a new environmental exposure, which makes you go out of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right. One thing that I've seen common in your thing is that you have consistently raised your prices, right? And we have been able to do that consistently, plus have convergence at the same level as well, right? First question, what made you charge more? Secondly, how did you get that confidence? I'll convert and people will pay.
I think the product, the program by itself is so amazing. And this is not that I want to boast about it, but I'm really proud about the fact that we were able to understand, see, me being a parent and me being a psychologist. This is like the biggest strength for me, because I understand as an expert kya hona chahiye, ideally, but I also understand the real challenges that parents face today. So I have been able to master that and get a combination of that in terms of a solution. Ki theory wise na ye hai, but practically ye possible nahi, lekin itna to hona chahiye. I have been able to build that. And I think the one-on-one coaching, helping them understand, empathizing with their problems. I believe whatever that you are doing for your community, I have been able to do that same thing and deliver to my community. And I started seeing that there is a lot of change and difference. And according to me, even for Bhavana, we think a lot of things are very basic. So we feel that ye to basic hai. I need to do more and something more complex, But then I realized, oh no, like whatever is basic for us is too much for them to manage, handle, and they're getting overwhelmed even with the basics. So then, with our conversations, the conversations we kept having with you, you made us realize that, hello, ye sabke liye basic nahi hai. So therefore, keep it simple, keep it basic. And, we always try to complicate things. But with you, we simplify things. And then that's how we were able to deliver the value and bring meaning and joy to parenting process and journey. And I think that's the biggest winning point, according to me, because if I'm a parent today, I want to do the right thing. Yes, I want my child to be successful, but I want to enjoy it. Like when she's a preschooler, I want to enjoy that phase. When she's a tween or a teen, I want to have that strong connect and bond and memories.
Right.
Whenever we're watching movies, whenever we're doing some fun part, going on vacations, I want that experience. Now, through my coaching and my program, if I'm able to sort of open that up for the parents, then it's like an amazing thing that I feel about myself if I'm, able to bring about that progress in that journey. And I saw that change for parents where they came and they shared with me like one simple call and they would be like, wow, I feel so light in my head. And I know how it feels, because as a parent, I've gone through that heavy weight, that whole responsibility just on the mother. So if I can relieve that. So I think that's the point where I realized that, no, I'm giving so much, so we always have this whole philosophy that we will always over deliver. So we might not promise too many things, but when we promise, we always go beyond and above, just the way you do, Himanshu, right? So yeah, I think that's really the...
Yeah. And I think everything that she shared, हम पहले बताते ही नहीं थे. We weren't sharing till you made us
So
realize.
I remember still one call. You are giving a physical kit, you're doing a one-to-one, and you're just telling them, hi, one-to-one physical kit. I'm like, no, put that on a slide, show it to people, and show the whole thing to people that you'll get this much so that they understand what's the value.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So showing, because for us, it may be something that we just deliver, but to be able to showcase it to, our parent students and to be able to say that, this is how it will help you. This is how,
The benefit,
this
the
is the benefit.
value.
So हम बहुत सारे features बता रहे थे, what we thought was valuable for them. But then when we started connecting the feature to the benefit that they would get out of it, that opened up like the whole magical world to them. And that's when we started seeing better conversions, to get, the kind of results that they wanted. Because now we could map where they started, ground zero, and then, what are the kind of milestones that they want to achieve and help them achieve those milestones through their journey. So it was a customized journey that would really map out for them. You asked us to add in like a lot of forms. So we added a Google form, asked them.
That helps.
So that helped, because then ab tak ye ho raha tha that we were taking ad hoc questions and we would solve them for sure, but they wouldn't be able to see it. So we had to map it for them. So when we now onboard any new student, we have a Google form that goes out to them day one. And we ask them to put down their challenges and what they want to perceive themselves as in the next 6 months, 4 to 6 months. And then we help them achieve that.
Makes sense.
That helped.
Makes sense. And the thing Poonam say, that basic wala thing and that complex wala thing, what happens with us as mentors is because we are like, the gurus and we have that ego associated with knowledge. So जब तक हम ज़्यादा दिखाएंगे तो हमारा खुद का ego feel नहीं होता, right? And that happened with me as well. So I was thinking, why should I not teach average order value and complex AOB funnels and SLOs and everything? And then I understood, no, people are not doing 30 reach outs a day. People are not starting their ads. So it's like, no question why I'm not getting results for people, because मैं वो सब सिखा रहा हूँ तो ये काम पे ही नहीं, right? Because I'm upgrading myself does not mean the student is getting the same pace, right? So that affects the thing, right? How is your old delivery, old product looking to new product, like compared to new product after joining ICE? Like what's the changes you see in the product?
I think the product or the program really hasn't changed much. It's just
the content wise.
The content wise is just the same. I think it's all about how you communicate and interact with the right kind of TG, what you say, how you say. Like we said, rather than talking about the features, talk about the benefit, talk about their journey, map that in front of them. So all of that changed because of you. So that obviously added and boosted the value of the program, because the program was delivering technically what it had to. But it's important for a parent to understand that this is what I get. Now there was no transparency there, or probably they were getting confused about mujhe kya milne wala hai, kya nahi milne wala hai. But now with this journey, they know exactly what. So of course, there are many parents as well who still are a little chaotic in their mind, thinking ki ye hoga ki nahi hoga. But from my end, I know that I can sort of show them the journey from A to Z. This is what will happen. This is what you can expect. And I also had testimonials to share about ki this system really works. So I think that change in the way I presented, that really changed for me.
Got it. So content same रहा, but उसको structuring change कर दी, language pattern change कर दिया,
Yes.
सब कुछ change कर दिया. We added Google Forms, week-wise delivery, all of those things basically changed the whole game.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Now the thing is कि चलो ठीक है, delivery sort हो गया. Now comes marketing and sales, जिसके लिए सब लोग अभी तक ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं, right? What changed in your sales process? What changed in your marketing part, due to which you were able to like hit 15 lakhs in 15 weekends, right? What was that changes, like top 3, which made you feel like इसकी वजह से ये हुआ?
I think if I go back in time and look at how it really started, first thing was to be open to changes, because when we joined your community, we were already doing webinars, we were already selling, we already had students in our community. But as we said earlier, it was sporadic and we wanted some kind of consistency in the entire system, and that's when we joined you. So therefore, we had to literally rewire our brains, so to say. So we did that. We were open to doing that. तो वो करा हमने आपके साथ. Whatever you shared, like Poonam said earlier, whatever you mentioned, whatever you said, we did it. You know, we never questioned that. So that's another thing, because our landing page, you know, there were times where you have been so objective and so honest to our faces by saying it's a crappy landing page. And we had to digest that.
क्या बकवास बनाए.
Yeah, कितना बकवास बनाया है. And then you had to listen to it and say, okay, it's in our favor and it's something that he's talking in our interest, and we got to take it objectively and not take it personally. And so we sat back, you know, till late night. We delivered that, we sent it back to you, and you still came back saying it's still not as good as I wanted to be. Go back to the drawing board. So therefore, we did that back and forth, and I think your constant involvement in there is very, very valuable. And I also think that students have to be able to take advantage of an amazing coach that you are. And I think that was some message from us to the entire community out there, even for people who haven't really joined your community yet, is that you are awesome, but we should be able to take advantage of that awesomeness, and that's on us, not on you. Because you have, you know, thousands of students, and it's not up to you, but up to me. बोलते हैं ना कि, you know, a teacher will appear when the student is ready.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what. So we were constantly looking at how we are going to make ourselves ready for that change. So we did that, constantly taking feedback and changing as we moved along. तो वो हमने करा. And the third thing was the fact that we were consistent. पहले ये हो रहा था that anybody gave us any changes, we started getting busy about the changes and stopped delivering. So that was like a biggest, you know, full stop for us, because we were focusing on making changes, and you are constantly talking about, like, you know, even our yesterday's inner circle call, it was all about don't do podcasts, don't do YouTube videos, don't do Instagram reels till you're making the money. Focus on money making activities. That's what your focus should be, you know. And it's not like we didn't know it. But I don't know what happened when we started interacting with you, and there was a switch that happened, and we were like, no, you know. So Poonam and I, whenever we are discussing something now, we go back to would Himanshu approve this or not? शायद नहीं, वो बोलेगा कि no. Go back to what is to help you fix the funnel, fix the ads, fix the presentation for your webinar, get the delivery done right, start looking at how you're going to, you know, maximize your impact in the community. That's what matters. So बाकी के frills we dropped it. We haven't released a YouTube video in months now. We've been associated with you for about, I think, 7 months now. Yes. You know, so we have literally put a lot of things on hold, which actually we want to do. But we know that we are following a system which helps us get to a certain level, a certain mark. And then from there on, you know, then there's so much to do.
Right. So I'll give you my example. like 1.5 साल शायद मैंने बाल ही नहीं कटाए थे, right? And that was the thing
I was
was
there to witness that. Yeah.
right. So I was the person who was like, nahi, not useful right now. This hair
Yeah.
cutting is like half an hour, like every 2 weeks. I don't have time.
Yeah.
Forget about YouTube videos and reels. I don't have time for that as well, right? So that just justifies to the community कि नहीं भाई, ये इंसान, he's walking the talk that he's saying, and I think that is what the community follows after that, right?
Yes.
And secondly, with you guys, what I saw was that it's not only that you're taking the thing and applying it, but also with consistency. So it's not like कि एक वेबिनार प्रेजेंटेशन हो गया, अब हिमांशु को 4 हफ्ते बाद रीच आउट करेगी जब वेबिनार कन्वर्ट नहीं करेगा, राइट? यू वर लाइक नहीं, अभी 8% आया, मेरे को 10% करना है, क्या करूं?
Yes.
10 आया, मेरे को 12 करना है, क्या करूं, राइट? आई स्टिल रिमेंबर, लाइक 2 हफ्ते पहले की बात है, व्हेन यू सेड लाइक मेरे नंबर्स ये रहे, टेल मी व्हाट इज रॉन्ग, एंड आई टोल्ड यू द लैंडिंग पेज कन्वर्जन रेट,
Yes.
राइट? एंड वी सैट, और मेरा था रात भर मुझे चाहिए, एंड यू मेड इट, राइट?
Yes.
तो वो स्पीड उससे आता है, दैट्स like the student part where they need to fulfill that, due to which the relation begins to grow after that. Completely makes sense. Anything on the marketing side you want to say that you changed?
I think clarity of the message that helped us a lot.
Yeah.
Because marketing is what you see on the front end really, but the back end of that is really how clear you are about the message that you want to attract the right kind of PG, and actually reaching out to the right kind of people. You know, that really
And I think
helps us.
simplifying the message rather than complicating it, that
Hmm.
they don't understand even. So I think
So-
that changed.
Yeah.
Earlier, I think your message instead of social emotional learning was something complicated, of 5-step system of, I don't remember, but your first initial message was like a 5-step system to get this and that. And I was
Yes.
like, नीचे लोगों को समझ नहीं आएगा.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
today you are like speaking social emotional learning, that's it. And now
Yes.
it's more clear.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Also,
What
it's something that we, you know, it's a new domain really in that sense
Hmm.
for India, so to say. And, you know, Poonam has written a book on that topic. That's really our entire premise of our offering. So we said this is our moment to sort of claim it and say that, you know, because we have been advocates of social emotional
For
learning for the
quite some time,
longest
yeah.
time. And we weren't out there talking about it as much as we should have, you know, and therefore when you sort of, you change that, then
Things changed,
things
right.
changed again.
makes sense. What was your happiest day after joining, guys?
I think my first happiest day was when we had a call and we joined.
Yeah.
So that was also like a relief, because now I know I have someone from whom I'll get the support and the guidance, right? Because in my mind, I knew I'm going to follow everything. So wo confidence mujh mein tha, but I knew now I have a mentor. That was my first time. Then the second time was when we did our webinar after you had given us the suggestions, and you know, it was good amount of sales.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that changed something inside me. So because I always knew, like I said, that, you know, I was good at my work and my job. As a role of a psychologist, I was doing like 10 on 10. But somehow there was something to do with selling and sales as a skill. So I was an awesome psychologist, but not good at selling. So I think because of you, that changed, you know,
Yeah.
for me. And that's like the biggest win. So it's never about the revenue or the amount. It's about the mindset, the shift, the confidence, the clarity, and having the faith and trust in yourself, in your skills, that yes, you can go all out and do justice. So I think
So that
that
first burst of sales was like कि चलता है, like अंदर से वो एक
now,
feeling आता है
yes,
कि
now
हाँ बस अब ठीक है.
I'm not worried. I don't have the fear. I don't have the anxiety. I'm cool, calm, composed, patient. So even if there are a few people who don't join, I'm okay with that. Because I know that, you know,
Long
whoever
term में हो
is my
जाएगा.
community, yes, and I know that I have the right kind of people. I have the intentional, focused people. So yeah, I
And
think that changed.
yeah, and also for me, because I was looking at the entire marketing front, I was looking at funnel designs and, you know, the entire script and all of that. I would do all of that by myself. Obviously, I would run it by Poonam. But जब मैं वो कर रही थी, I didn't have anybody to go to and check कि ये जो मैं लिख रही हूँ, ये ठीक है, is it okay? Is it something that will, you know, go forward and deliver what I want? I didn't have anybody. You know, so when I found that I could come back to you one-on-one, जो आप कर रहे हो, that is phenomenal. I mean, that kind of connect and feedback, constant feedback. I have never, ever, ever experienced a day or time where I have sent you a message or a mail or whatever that is, that I've not gotten feedback instantly. You know, and I think that's something that I do in my community, and therefore, you know, I know that when somebody is in need, And when they get that feedback and that response right there and then the kind of feeling of relief and confidence and that I'm taken care of in this community is of another level.
Yes.
You
And
know,
that's what matters the long term, because when
that's
300
what.
people, 400 people are with you, and you know that everyone has gotten value from you and you have done your best to provide them value, then
Yes.
it's next level thing, because the amount of referrals you get, the amount of scaling you can have, the amount of testimonials you get is majorly than anyone.
Yeah, because I do that with my community as well. I know that their parents, they're worried, they're scared, and they don't know if they don't act right now, will it hamper their growth, their well-being, their success, and all of that. So there have been times where I have decided, so many times you've decided routines and habits कि हम 9 बजे के बाद हम respond नहीं करेंगे messages को, and just yesterday
जो
at
मैं
11
करती हूँ, हाँ, जो मैं करती हूँ, and she balances out obviously,
so,
but yeah.
I will still respond at 11:30 because I see your message, So I get that when somebody is in need and you take care of that need at that point in time, then the relief is of another level. So,
Right.
yeah.
Just when you were saying, I got a WhatsApp notification when someone said, "Ki, so I have another community, Supercharge community," and someone said, "Can I get a tool to download all Telegram data?" And my mind was like, "Which is the tool?" And I'm like, "अरे मेरा केस स्टडी चल रहा है यार, अभी इसको shoot करना है."
Absolutely, I
So
understand.
still it happens, but that's I don't think everyone has that. It's like अंदर से वो आता है, right? Some people are here just to make money, and that is totally fine, कोई problem नहीं है. But एक वो अंदर से आता है कि नहीं यार, ये मेरा client है या ये मेरा student है, मेरी पूरी responsibility है इनको result लाना. And it's not कि ये मुझे ज्यादा पैसा दे रहे हैं या ये कुछ आगे मुझसे खरीदेंगे. It's nothing. It's just कि नहीं, इन्होंने sign up किया मेरे साथ. It's my responsibility, and I am the person who needs to give them result no matter what happens.
Yes.
Awesome. So both sisters have gone to a certain level now, recognized parent coaches. What is your next plan? Like, what are you working on right now?
So I think we want to come up with now mini programs or mini plans for parents, because I've realized one thing is that parents are extremely busy, but yet they want to be intentional. But having said that, they can't take up something which is so much for them to manage. So something which is bite size, जैसे कि आपके worksheets होते हैं, templates होते हैं, frameworks होते हैं, or system, which this is what you need to do, and this will fix, this one thing. भले ही वो एक चीज हो, in my mind as an idealistic mother, intentional mother, and a psychologist, I want to fix everything. That's my obsession, that you should be a 10 on 10 on everything, and that's me. And because of that, it sort of spills over in my professional life.
Yes.
So I want to give them everything कि नहीं, ये भी होना चाहिए, routine भी होना चाहिए, सब कुछ होना चाहिए. And then these constantly telling me, hello, that's not possible for every single person. And while it might be idealistic, real life is far, different. Yeah. And so we'll have to give them solutions which work for them in the given structure. So yes, of course, there are a few things which will take the time and the energy. But having said that, I thought like a bite-sized something which they can do on a daily basis, not putting in 10 hours, but just 1 hour intentionally agar karenge, they should be able to see the change. So that's going to be my, next set of what program.
Right. And that bite-sized thing is also what creates the big thing that you want, right?
Yes.
So what I'm working on right now is like I have like a pura diwar jitna bada whiteboard, and what I've started over there is to think like, how can we achieve 100% success rate, right? That's what my obsession is right now, and the plan we have is 500 lakhpatis. And it was like I'm putting each and every dot, like webinar pe kala color background ki white color background, what works better. And last 2 Sundays I'm just comparing my results of webinars ki black convert ki white, same everything, just black and white or blue and red, and then just trying out to figure everything out ki koi bhi aayega, it's like everything they have in front of them. Now that thing is not possible at the start, but I need to start creating that bite-sized things, then give to people, test it out, market feedback again and again, and then वो सब एक साथ compile होकर will become the big thing, which nobody can compete with now because मैंने सब test कर लिया है, right? So competition basically eliminates after that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's talk about projections that you're planning on. So what is the projection now you're having for, let's say, number of students, revenue, profit, whatever you want to calculate? What is your projection that you are seeing ahead of, let's say, 2023?
See, from a programs perspective, we know that we want to launch 5 more programs, which we're already sort of working on. We are already there as far as the content is concerned. Now it's all about fixing different kind of funnels. You spoke of 15 of them yesterday in your coaching call, and we are looking of replicating that system as well for ourselves. We are also looking at converting the single funnel that we have as of now, it's delivering only one program, but we want to add OTO to it. So we are working on that as well. So from revenue perspective, we obviously want to double our figure, which we have achieved that in 6 months in just a month now. So that's where we are. So that's our nearest milestone, I would say, in the next quarter. So we want to end the year 22-23 with a big bang there.
Mm.
And then again, we will take it up from there. So yeah.
Super congratulations on that. Okay. Now comes the point of community, right? So all people are watching this video in community, they're like, कि इनको इतनी जल्दी result आया, मुझे नहीं आया. What am I lacking? Is there a problem in me? Or is there a problem in Himanshu? या Bhavana Poonam ज़्यादा smart है? Like, what are they thinking? So, what is your advice to those people who are having that doubt कि इनके result मेरे से तेज क्यों आया?
I think Poonam will be better able to understand and answer that, because she's constantly battling that question in our community, right? There, there are different kinds of people in all communities, and some get results and some don't, and some are there but still not there. So she'll be able to.
I think there are many factors really involved here. So the first thing, that as a personality type, आपका intention, आपका purpose क्या है? Now, if you really want something, is it just a dream or is it a goal? So that really, distinguishes on your action points as well. So if you're just wishing and hoping and looking at others' results and hoping that you will get the same result without putting in the input, that's not going to happen, right? Secondly, for me, and I'm probably suggesting this because it worked for me, we think of you every single day, Himanshu. There's not a day when we don't think about you. So whenever we're sitting and working, what would Himanshu think? What is Himanshu doing? Or what is he suggesting? So we're constantly looking forward to having a conversation with you, taking feedback from you. And when you join someone like a community, or like for us, we look up to you as a guru, then we are willing to listen to you. Then we are not going to try and figure out pros and cons. And if you have said this, hum karke dekhenge. There have been times where I have a little doubt or a question mark, and it's not that I'm doubting your skills or, capacity, but I just feel कि अच्छा ऐसे भी होता है क्या? But then I'm like, no, we need to explore and experiment, right? Because if he's saying this with confidence, I'm sure there is something in it. So I think that's one thing that worked for us till date. And every single time you told us, every single time we implemented, that very time we got the result. So I know that your strategies work. So anyone who is, in a part of your community and want that kind of success rate, then they have to follow you to the T. आपने जैसे बोला वैसे copycat बनना है, right? Because I believe if there is a success formula and you can copy it and someone's asking you to, what's stopping you from doing that?
Yeah.
That's the other thing. And I believe that consistently you have to keep working. Maybe it's not 20% or 30% or 50%. So obviously there is so much of a difference in the temperament, the personality, how fast you are. I believe you're fast learners. We come from a space that we have never left learning. Even after my PhD was done, every single year we take up so many courses, we learn. We are constantly inventing and coming up with newer things so it's also helping us evolve as a person. So I think that's one growth mindset that every single person will need to have. That what can I learn today? ऐसा नहीं है कि एक दिन में बस इतना ही करना है and be happy with what you have got. You have to go stretch yourself, go and do something beyond your comfort zone. And I think in the last 2 years, we have gone all out.
Yeah.
And I've done every single thing beyond my comfort zone. I hate going on video, but I've done that. Okay. I'm not so comfortable speaking and I'm not an extrovert by nature. But when it comes to guidance and support and my masterclass, no one will get that hint that I'm an introvert. So I know how I can do justice to the role in spite of being a certain way. So I think that adaptability, understanding that role is something which was very important, and I could do that. And I think a lot of these things open up because of the conversations also that we've had, because you're constantly reiterating. It's not that most of us don't know. We all know what it takes, right? Even for being a good, effective parent, you already know. But when I reiterate, when I tell them that, you know what, ho jayega, ab kar loge, finish this homework in this week, then they're able to do that. So I think that hand-holding support, so constantly being in touch with you, seeking solutions from you, understanding. And I think one biggest thing for me was whenever you gave feedback, I never felt bad. Bad, not bad. I never felt upset. I was never upset. And I was surprised. But in my mind, I had taken you as my guru, as my mentor. So I knew that I've given you the trespass and that you can tell me. And I love people who are honest, and that's probably the resonance, and that's probably the reason why I also joined. I love people who tell me on the face what is right, what is wrong, ये कैसा है, ये कैसा होना चाहिए. So you are a no nonsense person, and I love that about you. कि फटाफट काम पे लग जाओ. No faff, no philosophy, no ज्ञान, no motivation. Get to work. This is what you need to do. I love that about you. I respect that about you.
Yeah. There are times when you have been more dedicated about,
Your
you know,
webinar than you.
yes, than we would be. Yeah, and that's true about all of your students in the community. Like, you know, whether it's a Sunday call or some kind of workshop, I see that pain. That if somebody is not getting the success, then you're like, "Arey yaar, tum karte kyun nahi? Like, why didn't you just do what I'm telling you to do? Because I know you will get success at the end of the process, you know." And because of their fears, their doubts, their concerns of stuff that they have not been able to get in the past, that comes in the present and spoils even this journey, which
Right.
actually can be so smooth. And we've experienced it. I mean, so it's a no-brainer.
And I think my team also comes in the play of this, like Karan, Shruti, you know, Sagar, we have everyone comes in the play. Well, like कि वो भी बैठे हुए कि भाई बताओ क्या प्रॉब्लम है, हम बैठे हुए हैं यहाँ पे, right? Everyone who is ready to support, but it's like now on the end, but still figuring out कि उसको कैसे solve कर सकते हैं. You told in the start that you have completed every course on the planet, done everything, still was not able to get that, you know, कि वो crack कैसे होगा, right? Predictability. What made I stand out? क्योंकि एक डाउट आता है ना मन में कि यार ये भी सेम निकला तो मतलब हो सकता है इसमें भी ज्वाइन हो गए, ये भी एंड में वही निकला, like so what? So how, like what was that fear thing and how did it stand out? How did I stand out from that point?
I think the most striking feature or what really stood out for us is that we could connect with you. You know, hand holding that we got from you is not something that we got elsewhere. You know, and that really changed our entire game plan, the entire process, the entire system that we were following, the way we delivered everything. Because I know what we do with our you know, students, and therefore, like, you know, when you are teaching your child and comforting them, then the tone of voice matters, the look in your eye matters, and that can't be done through a digital
Right.
video course.
Right.
You know, that will have to be delivered one-on-one, and that's exactly what we got. You know, the kind of sentences we use on our presentation in the webinar, what actually will help your prospective student connect with you. You know, all of those got fixed only with you. It's not like I didn't know how to make a webinar presentation. It was not like I didn't know what template or format or funnel platform to use. I knew everything, literally knew everything. But exactly how to construct it in a way that lands well with the TG, the audience, is what mattered, right? And that happened with you. So I would go back to the coaching calls, your calls, your guidance, your one-on-one, and because you're like a expert and a master at it, you never took time to look through something and figure out कि यार ये missing है इसमें, इसको ये सिर्फ इतनी छोटी सी चीज फिक्स करनी है, ये ठीक हो जाएगा. I mean, last time that we got on a call, we were barely on call for what, like 7-10 minutes, I think. And you said, all the numbers look great. This is what you need to fix, and that's it. And we changed the entire landing page and we are seeing results. So therefore, it was not about some complex template or something. It was small tweaks, but those simple things, you know, we always want, वो एक I think student need होती है कि कुछ complex दिखे या कुछ
बड़ा सा
बहुत
दिखाओ,
colorful या बड़ा सा कुछ दिखे. So then like, हाँ, I think it's valuable. But if you say something simple and something very, very easy, then we feel, हाँ, नहीं, ये शायद work नहीं करेगा. But I know that the simple and the easy things are really what work for us and what matters in the bigger scheme of things. So I think that really helped us.
I also want to add something, which is like the very fact that you're younger, much younger. I wanted that because, you know, with youngsters, there is a different separate energy. They have a different growth mindset. They're very innovative, creative. They can see a lot of things that which we can't see at this age. And I do not mean to say that we are like 60s and 70s, but that age difference also matters. Even in 40s, it's very different. As a parent, it's very different from me, right? So therefore, I think that was one perspective I was looking for. And I got that. So that was one thing that I loved about you. The amount of conviction that you had when you were sharing, that was the point where I decided. The second thing I would say that the learner, the person, the mentee really has to have a growth mindset where he has to be able to take that risk. Because वैसे तो then there is
Yeah.
never no guarantee about anything. Like today also, I don't feel bad about the fact that I underwent so many experiences because every single seminar, every single masterclass taught me something. So even if I got one thing, I feel I'm lucky I got my learning.
Yes.
So it's all about your perspective. कि मुझे तो कुछ भी नहीं मिला. So what are you looking at then?
हाँ.
So then I think it's more to do with the mentee, the person who wants to learn, that you're constantly looking for, ये तो मुझे पता है, ये तो पता है. So then वैसे तो then you know everything.
Yeah. And then if you know everything, then why
not
isn't it delivering?
not doing it?
Exactly.
So I think we came from a space where we were able to take the risk. We came with the thing that, yes, we have the fear and the anxiety and the worry, obviously, but that worry should not stop you from taking action. Because if you want awesome results, तो awesome inputs भी डालने पड़ेंगे और awesome risk भी लेना पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
That comes, it's like a package deal. So you have to deal with it. So if you are not a risk taker, then probably this is not the space.
And I remember this thing with Bhavana, and she was like कि विवेक को इतना पैसा देना चाहिए क्या ads का? Do you think it would be worth it? अगर नहीं चला तो? I was like, what else option you have? You're running ads, it's not working out, right?
Yes.
We want
Yeah.
someone as expert.
Yeah.
And the moment they came, the first one was rough, right? We just break even or something. But
Yeah.
धीरे things start to pick it up, and now we are like, okay, कि हाँ चल रहा है, right? And now we can take bigger risk in our life. So yeah, exactly. The risk part makes sense at the end for the student side as well. Completely makes sense. Okay. Advice for people who have not joined ICE.
I think they should stop thinking and just like join your community. Because I'm, personality wise, I'm a very stringent person. I'm not someone who will get influenced very quickly. But when I had this coaching call with you, I could see that. I could see the clarity, the confidence. I knew that you're the person. And like I said, you will only benefit from every single thing that you do. So nothing should stop you when it comes to learning and implementing. And if there are so many people who are already a part of your community, right, there is obviously something positive happening inside, which is why they're getting results. So it's completely up to them to do the work. But about the guidance, the support, yes, guaranteed wo to milne wala hai aapse. So that's something that they should just go all out and listen to you. That's
Yeah.
one thing that they have to do. They have to
Yeah.
follow your instructions. So I think if they do that,
Yeah.
there's going to be
There's
only
nobody
winning,
stopping them then.
yeah, for the success.
Wonderful. How these all people can find you and where they can find you and how they can get in touch, maybe for your parent workshops or for talking about ICE, where they can talk to you.
So our Instagram handle, Dr. Poonam Kage, that's where we are.
And that's common across YouTube as well as her website is also drpoonamkage.com.
Yeah.
So it's common handle across.
Awesome. So all the links are in the description, guys. You can check out Poonam on our Instagram, website, YouTube, and everything. I'll put all the links in the description. Thank you so much for being over here. That makes me feel grateful that we were able to create some impact in some lives. Thank you for being over here. Thank you for taking action. Thank you for putting out the effort and listening out and putting consistent efforts across the time. Any last words for people who are watching this?
I think a big thank you.
Yeah, a big thank you and gratitude to you, Himanshu. Whatever we are today, it's all thanks to you. So thank you so much. In my gratitude notes, every single night I think about you. That's how awesome and impactful you are. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. अगर ये इस टाइप की वीडियो पसंद है तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब मत करो. Click on my channel, see all the videos. If you feel like there are videos which can actually help you, then so click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon for the notifications. Thank you.